I think the best animal, the one for me, is reindeer.
Yeah?
I want to be a reindeer.
You want to fly.
I want to get blazed off magic mushrooms.
What do you mean?
Reindeer eat the fucking psychedelic mushrooms.
Yeah, do they?
Have you heard the magic mushroom Xmas
Yeah, but
theory?
are you sure that deer are actually doing these hallucinogenics, or maybe it's just people inside the deer's consciousness who are making them eat the mushrooms?
Both the people and the deer are tripping.
Right, so the deer's trying to get inside a human brain by tripping on magic mushrooms, and we're all thinking about trying to get into the deer's brain so that we can eat magic mushrooms.
Have you ever thought about the bizarre Christmas traditions? Like, you sort of take it for granted. It's pretty easy to take for granted, right? Like, because you just always, you don't question it for starters, because you want to be part of it. Yeah, you want to be part of it. Right?
You get presents. If you said, "What's the deal with this?" Like, you're not going to be like, "Oh, fuck it, I'm knocking Christmas on the head this year. I don't want to do it."
You're not going to
there's
say
still presents happening, right? Yeah, cool.
All right, Santa's red suit is dumb, right?
Yeah.
So Santa's style, his bag of goodies, the sleigh, the reindeer, the chimney entry, the way we decorate the house. Mm-hmm. Yep, the tree, the gift giving. Apparently, they all stem back from indigenous Arctic Circle dwellers in Siberia and some really intense mushrooms.
Yeah. And that was what was under the tree. It didn't used to be presents. It was the mushrooms that would be under the tree. They would grow under the tree. And then you hang them on the tree, because that's how you used to dry them out or whatever. So all of the ornaments on the tree would have just been essentially them curing hallucinogenics ready for consumption to celebrate whatever it was that they were celebrating, right?
That's how I understand it. The spores of the Amanita muscaria mushrooms, which are those red and white ones, so they're red, predominantly red with the white spots on them that you see in Super Mario, and you just see them around. Culturally, they're a pretty big deal.
Alice in Wonderland and whatnot.
Alice in Wonderland, yeah. So their spores travel exclusively on pine seeds. So they're more likely, that's why they commonly grow at the bottom of pine trees.
Interesting. And pine trees, Christmas, right? Yeah. Okay.
Pine trees is a Christmas tree, right? So the shaman in these Arctic Circle tribes would go around picking these mushrooms. Like you say, drying. Sometimes he picks them, leaves them on the tree to dry, or he puts them in a sock and hangs them over the fire to dry.
Yeah,
because the mushrooms themselves are fatally toxic unless you dry them out. Or if reindeer eat them, they process the toxins out and you can drink their urine.
No way.
Yeah, man. But that's a bit more aggressive, right? Urine is a bit more aggressive.
If someone said, look, you can have your trip now, your experience now, if you want to drink the deer piss, or alternatively, we have some in the sock over the fire over there, and if you just wait a bit, you'll be able to eat those ones.
No, we don't want it now.
Which one do you want? Oh, give me the deer piss. Give me the deer piss. Fill up a yard glass. Let's fucking go.
And so the shaman would be out collecting mushrooms, and you'd do it in a red outfit with.
Why would you do it in a red outfit?
With white trim or white polka dots on it to honor the mushroom. Because they consider it like a sacrament, it's a really important part of their culture. So they would do this. They would do this on the winter solstice, 21 December. They get everyone together.
Today,
21 December.
No, in
the northern hemisphere. I'm talking
right now. It's tonight is our winter solstice. Actually,
we should crack out some mushrooms. Yeah, and so he would cruise around collecting these mushrooms. He'd get back to the yurt. It was called, which is like it's like a giant tent. Yeah, it's like a big hut, and it's a big, large tenty thing. And people gather together to celebrate the winter solstice. But by the time he gets back, it's snowing a lot, and so it won't be uncommon for there to be feet of snow in front of the entrance. So he climbs in through the chimney with his bag of goodies full of mushrooms. So he goes through the top.
Why does he go through the top?
You can't get through the front door. It's got snow.
Right.
They're snowed in the yurt, right? Classic.
So he would jump in the chimney.
He would come down through the chimney to give out the sacrament, the presence, the gift of knowledge.
Amazing. Now it's like but for me, when I was a kid, I wasn't gathering around the Christmas tree and getting mushrooms from my parents at Christmas time. It was like remote control cars, it was Chip-away dinosaurs, Chip-away dinosaurs, remember those things?
Yeah. Oh, I love those. I bought one recently.
So you had a big rock and you get a little pick and you get to chip away and you find all these bones and they'll build into a Tyrannosaurus Rex. It was great. It only lasted the morning because me and my brother were straight outside and we're just hammering that thing out, man.
Dude, archaeologist. Yeah, and so people start tripping balls. And then the legend is that the shaman and his reindeer fly to the North Star, which sits above the North Pole, to retrieve gifts of knowledge, which they'll then distribute to the rest of the village. And so this tradition started, intermingles with other things going on, right? And with other myths and things of that nature. And then some things stick and some things don't. Victorian Christmas cards from the Victorian era quite commonly had the Amanita muscaria mushroom on them.
Yes. Yeah.
Which is
bizarre. You can find it. You still find it on the occasional Christmas card today. You'll still find it.
Yeah. It's a really weird connection, right? Where you just understand. But think about all the connections. What the fuck is with the sock? Like, just think about that alone, right? The stocking, right? It's a bizarre.
Why do we put things in the stocking?
I fucking love it. Don't get me wrong. Yeah, but why? Right? The red Santa suit is kind of
that was
bizarre.
Coca-Cola, right? He was just a massive Coke can.
They did popularize that, but before that, it was. This is what I mean about myths getting intertangled.
And what I was going to say just before is that it's not just the one myth that we're dealing with today, right? Because you've still got your Santa myth, you've got your Jesus myth and your Santa myth lining up at the same time. They're both here on the same day to do their thing, right? And they're not at odds with one another because people like Christmas and, some people are like, oh yeah, Christmas, it's Jesus's, Jesus's birthday. But it's interesting that it's sort of in essence, they've both stuck. Even this ancient one, both of them.
Yeah, they just sort of co-opt each other and intermingle, and who knows what
as a modern human, you're robbed of the experience, this religious experience that they were potentially having with their...
Completely robbed, because the stigma on drugs is just the war on drugs type stigma. And I understand that you have to be careful with certain things, but we are society, we are a nanny state,